We go around the room and just name some things that we've learned to accept from people in this room.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for the delay in uploading. I had a bunch of yards that I had to attend to. They came all at once, and you can't pass up the money in real life. So, took care of that. Now we back to it. They were in therapeutic mode on the last free episode of the podcast. They were in therapeutic mode. Everybody was able to air out grievances towards each other, and I was able to pick up on a couple of key notes from these grievances, but they all came from different people. I think Flip and Parks had the best assessments of people, and I think Melissa had a very personal message to Joe that we will get into. Also, another video will be uploaded today, so remain on the lookout for that as well. I appreciate the support y'all showed me on the last video that didn't have anything to do with Joe, and that definitely will be the topic on the next video, but we're going to get deeper into it because I think Flip made a fatal mistake. And of course, fatal is too drastic of a word, but you'll see when we get to that video. But anyway, let's get straight to the grievances.
I've accepted Flip is just a hypocrite.
Emanny. I'll put the clips into all the grievances as I'm talking about them, and I'll try to get better at uploading chapters to these videos so I can just get straight to the parts that y'all want to listen to. I took a couple of YouTube tutorials on my break so I could get better at the page since we're growing, and I appreciate y'all showing support. But Emanny, he had the nerve to say Flip is a hypocrite. Now, why would he say that? Flip, why would Emanny, out of all people, call you a hypocrite and just leave it at that? And you didn't have any retort to it like you had to everyone else's assessment of you. The reason for that is because it's true. You want all this money from Joe Budden, but you're not paying me. You come on here all the time asking Joe for a pay raise. I'm willing to put in more work. I'm willing to put in more time. I need more money. I see that you're getting paid off of the PPV, and we're not getting a part of that. And you're able to speak on these things because these are the same antics that you use to the people that work under the Flip the network. It's crazy the things we'll allow people to do simply because we think we're cool with said person. There's no way all of the cast members could get shit off like this to the other cast members. And everybody has a lot to say about Joe and his antics, which we'll get to later. But Flip, very funny that Emanny called you out on your hypocrisy, and I haven't been following the Patreon as heavily as I once was, but I haven't seen the same wave of in the room content like when Emanny punched the shit out of Woody. And I haven't been seeing any viral clips from Queen's Flip. I haven't been seeing his YouTube hit my algorithm like it once did, and this is when I was doing research on your channel. It's like kapoo. And then I went and checked, and you're not uploading as frequently. I see you're trying to get your Patreon pushing. I see you saw the push and the influx of income that came from the Patreon, and you're trying to make more content based on that nature. But if the person that got you the virality in the first place is not a part of it, we might have a big issue. We might have an even bigger issue. But I thought that was very telling that Emanny decided to call you out on your hypocrisy. Parks had a lot to say about everyone.
I've learned to accept that Ish wants to argue. Flip, it's similar to Agent of Chaos's Joe, but less calculated, like a shotgun. I've accepted that he has been working really hard to change his images from those Twitter days for a long time, and it's kind of annoying, but at the same time, I completely understand it, and I think it's for the betterment of you and for the show, and I think it's the real you also. Emanny is going to chase his dick. Joe wants to be in control.
That's true.
Mel, I've accepted, doesn't give a fuck about any of us. She's just in her own world and thriving.
Ish, you gonna argue with everyone, but I don't think that was as big as of a deal as it was when he called out Mel. Mel is in her own world. She does not care about any one of us. She has showed on numerous occasions that she does not care for you, but expects you to care for her. And when you don't, she will implode on you. She has gotten better, but it's because Joe slipped and said that he suspended her. I thought we were just guessing. I thought that didn't happen. I thought that didn't occur. Always pay attention to when someone makes a return, they're only getting highlighted for their positives. You did not leave for a couple of episodes just to receive a Gracie Award. I had to look it up. Sounds like a made-up award. But Parks was right. That was very revelatory that he made that statement, because everybody was afraid to assess Parks. Everybody gave their opinion, and everybody was like, Parks is just a good dude. Parks is just chill. Parks is just... Why is everybody afraid to give their opinion on Parks? Because of the power that he has at the JBN and the JBP. Notice how Joe is always looking at Parks, saying, my bad, Parks, I'm going to get to the prize pick segment. Why the fuck would he keep saying that to Parks? Why would Parks be so invested on the placement of the ad if he had nothing to do with the ad? And I'll give Parks critiques because I've been giving them critiques over the years, and people seem to miss it. They're not noticing this shit. I notice it every time he does it because it happens often, and it's happening more often now. Parks is very dismissive, and his tone is very condescending. I would have picked up on that shit immediately, and I would have called him out on it. On air, because he's the type to do that shit on air. And everybody keeps saying that Mark is the one taking shots at everybody, and Flip has to listen back on the podcast to hear the shots that Mark takes. You need to do the same thing to Parks, because Parks does it to each and every one of y'all. And I know he's the one-line punch king. I get it. Or the punchline king. Or see, I can't even do a punchline because I can't even say it correctly. But I know Parks is the punchline king, one-line king, whatever. He be on it, I get it. But in my head, I think he even orchestrates that. And it's still a shot in somebody's direction. It's not just in the comedian aspect of the pie. I'm sorry, it took me forever to think of that. But Parks shoots at everyone. He's finally starting to shoot at Joe too a little bit more. But you have to be worried or pay attention to a nigga that just dismisses a lot of the things that you say. And Parks is that for me. So if there's any critique, since nobody else wanted to give it, I'll give it. But yeah, I see Melissa, as soon as she gets the confidence in her own podcast, she's going to leave on her own volition. We keep thinking that Joe's going to fire Melissa. No, because I still think Joe wanted to suspend Melissa after that Drake shit. But he had just brought her back from suspension. Notice how he let that slip. Notice how he said that she was gone for a month on suspension, and Melissa just had to eat that. She had to take that because she knows it's the truth. But everybody has something very revelatory. But the person, of course, that didn't have anything to say was Ish. And one time out of not many, I have to agree with him. These are the type of conversations where I excuse myself and I shut the entire fuck up. Because you're not going to get any of this out of me, especially on camera, especially on air, especially when none of us have had a conversation behind the scenes pertaining to what we are allowing and not allowing to get on the pod. But you're not going to keep tricking me with all these antics as a boss, Joe. And this is Ish speaking. This is me speaking as Ish. You're not going to continue to get away with all these antics, and you're not going to keep putting me under the bus to my coworkers. Because at the end of the day, I know the sensitive side of all my coworkers. And y'all can bash me and get on me every single time all y'all want. But I'm not the one calling for edits. I'm not the one getting in all these arguments. I'm not the reason that we have to take 15, 20-minute breaks and then come back after we had a meeting. So as much as y'all like to poke fun at me, I'm going to keep my mouth closed. Because I will say something that everybody's... And there's a reason for that. Because everybody looks up to Ish, whether they want to agree to it or not. So if I say something that's detrimental to their mental, it's going to fuck them up. But they can say anything and everything about me, which is another reason why Joe always picks on Ish. Because he's the only one strong enough to take all this shit. And Melissa, surprisingly, is as well. Because a lot of the jokes are in her direction, but Joe don't ever fire at Ice. He don't ever fire at Parks. He's getting better at firing at Ice. He must have had a talk behind the scenes with Ice telling him, hey, you need to chill out. A lot of this shit's going to start coming your direction. You just got to be able to accept it. Because you've been shooting at us, and we've been holding back because you are a bitch. And that's another one of the assessments that Parks made that I am in full agreement with. I understand you're trying to erase your Twitter past, but you can't fully usurp or do a 180 on who you were, nigga. Just because this is who you are now. We're not just gonna forget who you were. That's why reputation preceding you is a real thing. That's why your character speaking for you is a real thing. And Ice didn't accept it, but he kind of had to accept it because he knows it's the truth. Parks is calling you out to your face. Stop all the bullshit pandering. Stop all the fake morality clauses that you seemingly have now when you were one of the main niggas talking shit about everybody else in the way that you don't accept now. I hate that you, even though this is really you, according to Parks, I hate that you have to put it on full display to the point where you get upset at others for feeling the way you used to feel. What past are you trying to erase by doing this, Ice? But not too much on Ice. Not too much on Ice. I did think Parks' assessment on him was fairly correct. The last assessment that I wanted to reach on was Melissa.
You are an agent of chaos. You are brilliant, infuriating as fuck, a complete asshole. But you can be really nice sometimes.
I'm saying.
Just every once in a while it shines through, but then I swear to God, the
she
one
getting
day
shit
I'm
off.
like, you know, I think we're on a really good path with each other. Next day you will fuck it up, and I swear I want to plot your murder.
Melissa had a little tirade for Joe. It wasn't a real tirade, but I don't think that was an assessment of acceptance or learning anything about Joe. It was, nigga, I'm here for the reasons that I won't get into. You brought me here under these pretenses, and you have done a lot of things for me financially. But now you're starting to get overboard because you think since you pay me or you sign my paycheck, you could talk to me any kind of way. You could talk about me any kind of way. And now I'm finally starting to get fed up with your antics. So it's a love-hate relationship for real, because you do pay me a lot. You pay all my bills, thank you. But I have to show up in order to receive this payment. You're not my sugar daddy. And even if you were, I wouldn't even allow my sugar daddy to fucking talk to me in the way you speak to me. So Melissa's having an internal crisis with Joe. Damn, this bastard. These are the things that she's thinking about. But even though I haven't really heard anybody speaking on this shit, I thought these were very revelatory things. But anyway, I cannot stop thinking about Flip and Math and the relationship that Flip seems to have with Math that he does not have with the people that he's employed with. But like I said, that's going to be on the next video. I appreciate y'all. If y'all like the video, Make sure you subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, I appreciate you, and it's all love on my end. Make sure you engage. Let's get them comments up. Say whatever you feel, whether you like the video or hate the video. Let me know either way. Y'all be safe out here. Until later today, peace.